So by this time, what was your impression of America? Now that you've
I love
seen
America. I'm an American citizen now. Became an American citizen, what, 8 years ago? I read about 7 years ago.
At what point did you feel like an American? Was there a point where you finally felt like you belonged to the country?
There is, but I can't put my finger on it. There was a sense of belonging. I mean, America is such a great country, but it's such a large population.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, I've lived elsewhere. And when I come to here and I say to the locals, and I would make the comparisons, because I've been somewhere else, I know what works elsewhere and for the rest of the world. And then I come here and I criticize what happens here, and they say, well, you're not a citizen, you're not an American. You know, they make all sorts of weird comparisons of why this wouldn't work here. And I was interested in the local politics, and of course I couldn't vote or anything like that, so I wanted to be part of. You know, there's lots of different factors, a lot of things factoring into the fact of why I became a citizen.
Yeah.
You know, I love this country, it's a great country, you can still make something of yourself here.
From nothing.
Well, that's true, from nothing. I mean, there's guys that have huge businesses now that never even graduated from high school.
Yeah, I think we've all met.
There's so much you can do in this country. But as I say, I used to criticize and do, and nobody wanted to take that, you know. So
Nobody wants to hear it with your accent.
well, they didn't want to hear anything from me from the point of view that I knew it worked elsewhere. Socialized medicine for a start, right off the bat. Socialized medicine works. And I used to joke with them and say, well, tell me of another capitalistic country in the world. And they start naming it. I said, no, that's Japan. Well, after the war, the Americans moved in there, and they said Germany. No, these are all socialized countries. All socialized medicine. America is one of the few countries in the world that doesn't take really great care of the seniors. I'm the proverbial black sheep of the family.
Okay, well show us that one picture again with the giants.
The giants.
Okay, you don't have to tell me the whole story, but why are they directly related to you? These?
Oh yeah, that's my mother. That's my mother. My eldest sister.
Can you zoom in maybe?
Not yet.
Okay.
And that's my Aunt Kitty and my mom's sister. This lady just died a couple of weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. 2 weeks later my sister died. But anyway, she died at 95 years old. My mother would be 97 if she was still alive. This is my mother, her sister. My eldest sister, Moira, she's 7 years older than me. Margaret is almost 5 years older than me. My brother Brian is 5 years younger than me. And Anne-Marie, who died 3 weeks ago, she is 7 years younger than me. So she's 7 years older and she's 7 years younger.
Anne-Marie just died. Just died recently.
Yeah, she was only 53 years of age. She had a heart attack. But anyway, and this sister here was killed in a car crash by 4 drunken drivers. One drunken driver, four people in her car get killed. And my brother-in-law, and that baby is now married to a kid herself now. This was in South Africa. That's my cousin Marie and my mum again.
What year was that? The one on the
This year? This picture was taken in 1978. 3 years later she died in a car crash. But
well, hold it one sec because we want to zoom and try.
I'll do all that later.
Oh, you don't want to? Okay.
the only thing is that, again, it's a whole different thing.
So
the reason that I'm so small,
yeah.
I'm not skinny, I'm tall for my weight.
Did you?
Is that since I was 14 years of age to I was 30 years old, I had 5 major operations. I did the stomach thing before it was the popular thing. I've taken 4/5 of my stomach away, 40% of my pancreas and my spleen are all gone.
Because of disease?
A pseudocyst on my pancreas caused a lot of misdirection of signals from pancreas to other parts of my body, which caused ulcers, which caused too much acidity, it caused all sorts of things. And after a series of operations, they finally discovered it was on the pancreas, it was not in my stomach.
So they took out all that of your
Well,
stomach.
the acidity caused too much, it caused ulcers, and ulcers had to be cut. Yeah. But then later on, I had lung cancer and got chemotherapy and emphysema and COPD, and I lost a lot of weight that way, and I also fell off a wall and crushed my vertebrae, and from here to here I wore a plaster cast for 5.5 months, and any muscle that I had built up over the 30 years previous melted away, and I've never been able to put it on again.
When was that you fell?
I fell off a wall. I got bumped by somebody. We were moving a bathtub across a scaffold, and I got bumped, and I fell off the wall and tumbled down and crushed my vertebrae. And I wore this plaster cast. I even took all the way to Scotland.
You're a bit like a cat with 9 lives.
Pretty much so. I love life. I mean, I love it here. I was on chemotherapy at the time when I needed to take my mind off of what was going through at the time, possible ending of life, or the pains and the hurts and the angers and all the emotions were coming to the fore. I needed something else to focus on. So I decided at that time, I had wanted to become a citizen for a long time. And after I left the Beacon House, I was even on my exit plan. Now I've got a pullover that says, born Scottish, and I usually wear it at 4th of July, it's coming up. Born Scottish, reborn American. And then it gives the date of my becoming a citizen, because when I was on chemo, I started it. And I thought to myself, this is my positive attitude. They gave me 6 months, or they said they haven't seen anybody live more than 7 months. So I thought to myself, well, I'll start to become a citizen, it takes 3 years. It actually took 23 months.
Okay.
Getting the application to the end. And that was about 10 years or so into that.
Oh.
And then on the back of it, it says, BH exit plan completed, and then the date.
That's a
And
great
only people who would know about that would know what it meant.
Right.
I became a citizen. That was part of my, another one was to stop smoking. Of course, when I got lung cancer, I stopped smoking.
Did your dad ever give you any good advice?
I read the big book and I said, gee, my dad used to say that. My dad used to,
Like what?
I quote my dad all the time. I mean, he used to tell me, here was the one thing way back when, actually 2 things that pertain very much to today. He used to say, you've got 2 best friends in the world, Tam. Your mother and a quid in the bank. A quid is a pound. But it would translate to your mother and $1 in the bank. Your mother will always be there for you. If you get money in the bank, you don't have to be beholden to anybody.
Did that hold true?
It does. So. But then again, depending on where you are, I mean, all the money in the world, like somebody else once said, don't measure wealth by money. You know? When I was 17 years of age, when I used to work and serve my apprenticeship, I'd bring my wage packet home, and at that time it was money, it was in a wage packet, it wasn't a check, you know. And I gave it to my mother unopened, 17 years old. She opened it up, counted it out, and gave me my pocket money back, and she bought my clothes and everything for me, you know. 17, I'm going to Killybegs one year, and I wanted this shirt. It was a style, it was a button down longer than this, and it was very thin, brown and gold stripes. It was an in thing. My dad said to me one time, why do you want that? I said, well, it's in. Everybody's got it. He said, but why do you want to do that? Why do you want to be like everybody else?
They always say that.
I was never the same again. I had a changing point in my life. It was a major changing point because I started to think, why be like everybody else? I became the black sheep of the family. I always was the black sheep, I just didn't know it at the time. It was more prominent at that point. I started to change more. I had the approval of my dad to be different, whereas before I thought I needed to be the same. Now you seek that approval of your parents, especially my father. There were 6 of us, and that equal love is a hard thing to do because there's always favouritism. My brother excelled in sports. He was a fantastic soccer player. I mean, just magic. Watching my brother, I was so proud to go and see him watching this guy move a ball around the park. It was absolutely fantastic. He played professional, semi-professional and professional. But he showed that talent when he was younger. And there's nothing more wonderful to any father than his kid being such a soccer player. It's like excelling in baseball or football over here.
Mm-hmm.
Head over heels to pour money out to get him the best of or expenses for. And there's certain ones, I was an artist. I like poetry, I like to draw, sketching, painting. That wasn't so prominent. Although my father did speak to us about talking about my feelings, he encouraged me to talk about my feelings, but it wasn't the big thing. And therefore we had to vie for attention.
Right.
And of course the prominence was to my brother and his talent, and you know, though nobody would admit to that, but it would, you know. And although my father encouraged me to talk about my feelings, that's why I've been informed about it throughout my years. He encouraged my art. He encouraged my poetry writing. I was raised listening to Robert Burns, we were talking about a minute ago. He used to recite it to me. He would give me incentives of extra pocket money if I could learn specific poems. And I did, you know, I mean, I could recite. At 9 years of age, I stood in my class at Christmas. At Christmas, you go and you recite a little children's thing, and then you can take a gift off the Christmas tree kind of thing. You probably do over here too. I started out front, and I started my poetry. He said, "Whoa, stop, Tam." And when I went to the teacher's lounge and brought the rest of the teachers back, and says, "Right, go again." I was reciting classical poetry here, instead of the elf at the bottom of the garden stuff, you know, or the kiddie stuff. I started like John Anderson, my John, when we were first acquainted. Your locks are like the raven and your bonny brow is brent. But now your locks are pale, John. Your locks are like the snow, and blessings on your frosty brow, John Anderson, my John. To a moose, wee, sleek it pure and timorous beastie, all with a panic is in Nowbury state. Now needn't you run away so hasty with bicker and prattle, for I would be late to run and chase you with murder and paddle.
Can't understand.
That's all in old Scots.
Yeah.
In fact, the first one I get a couple of words wrong in that. But the teachers, the 9-year-old, this is coming out of the 9-year-old mouth. Whoa.